The time has come to get our hands dirty and make it all more practical. If you only learn on paper, you are not going to change children's lives, are you? There are a lot of useful tools and strategies to create a pedagogical climate on the ground. Here, we are going to focus on 4 main strategies. We have to warn you, these strategies may require you to change or adapt some of your old habits. Are you ready for that? Here they come. Strategy 1. Organize and structure your session appropriately. What do a sports field, sports hall, athletics track, ice rink or swimming pool all have in common? They all inspire us to play, perform, run, feel free and let go of our worries. They can make us happy because that's actually one of the original purposes of sport. On the other hand, sport participants also need some structure and clarity of boundaries. This is actually quite important for young participants, or it can quickly descend into total chaos. An appropriate practice structure creates space for all to be free, happy and comfortable during a session. The brakes in a car are what allow the car to go at high speed. Without brakes, the car would crash. Good structure in the sport environment is like the brakes in the car. Without clear rules and a common understanding, there will be chaos and confusion. Kids need to know what's expected of them, what is permitted and what's not, how the activity is supposed to run and what their role is within it, or how long it is meant to last for. Structure gives you grip. You and the children you coach can hang on to it when you need to. Here are some practical tools to set up a positive structure in practice. 1. Have clear expectations of participant behavior. For instance, how do we interact with each other? Or how do we treat the equipment? 2. Agree on key practical issues. What time training starts and finishes, who can take part, and what equipment or attire is required are some examples. 3. Communicate clear rules of engagement for parents. What exactly can you expect from each other? What is their role as a sport parent? They are there to support their child in a positive manner. You, the coach, provide instruction and guide their learning. 4. If any children or parents don't respect the rules, address it as soon as you can. Be consistent and treat everyone fairly. And 5. Lead by example. Follow your own rules. Communicate in an appropriate way. Act professionally in your setting. Don't break the rules. Strategy 2. Provide support and encouragement. Make sure you win. What a bad pass. Run faster. Too many times we hear things like this shouted at kids at sporting venues by coaches and parents. It seems we have the tendency to highlight the things that go wrong. This is a problem. Research shows that placing the focus on the negatives does not lead to improved outcomes. What gets attention will grow, even the negative things. On the other hand, positive support and reinforcement will bring out the best in children. If you compliment kids regularly in your role as a coach, you will enhance fun and raise their self-esteem. And fun and self-esteem will enhance motivation for learning, entering a virtuous cycle. In practical terms, it means that you as a coach should positively support your athletes and make honest and concrete compliments. Be optimistic, motivate and challenge them. Treat everyone with respect. Children will do the same in return. Emphasize development and growth over winning and competition. Help participants be proud of the skills they learn and make sure they know that mistakes are a fundamental part of the learning journey. Would you like some practical tools in this area? Okay, here goes some. 1. Give specific compliments and target effort instead of the results. For instance, fantastic how you tried to get that ball. 2. Focus on the process over the results and execution over outcome. For example, it was great how you served that ball. 3. Value and evidence personal development. For instance, excellent that you asked for the ball so often during this match. Oh, you have proved a lot in this area. 4. Provide task and action-focused feedback, which makes clear what they need to do to improve. For instance, try to gain more speed before the jump. And 5. Try to compliment or say something positive before providing feedback or advice. Try this. I loved the effort on that last play. Next time, try to anticipate the move a bit earlier. Strategy 3. Personal coaching and individual attention. Everyone wants and needs to be seen. Children's development is stimulated when adults pay attention and notice them. They also grow when they feel part of a group. This is true also for the quieter child or the daydreamer. Being unnoticed or neglected can be a very negative experience. That's why it's important to pay attention to each and every child in your group before, during and after sessions and matches. Sometimes a wink or nod is all it takes. Go out of your way to pay attention to the more quiet or shy children, and not only the most skilled or confident ones. This strategy is also important because every child is different. Personality, motivation, and learning preferences may differ. Some children are real go-getters, and others need constant support and encouragement. Adapting your sessions to the development stage of every individual child is difficult. However, as we saw in the SPEC model and the coaching zones in Chapter 4, if you don't, it's a recipe for disaster. Recognizing the difference and trying to adapt and differentiate your sessions to the different individuals pays off big time. How do we do this in practice? 1. Proactively pay positive attention to each and every child in your session. Make sure everyone feels noticed and appreciated. Pay them compliments, make eye contact, call names and generally show an interest. 2. Adapt your coaching, instruction, drills and feedback to the characteristics and developmental stage of every individual child. 3. Appreciate the differences in your group or between your athletes. Let children experience, learn from each other and help each other. 4. Not only appreciate the differences between children, but even positively highlight what every individual child contributes to the group. One is enthusiastic, another has persistent, and a third has technical skills. Show them how this makes the team or group stronger. Strategy 4. Transfer responsibility to the children. Make them responsible for their own development. As a coach, it is very tempting to want to tell your athletes exactly what to do all the time. It gives you a sense of control and direction. However, challenging children to think about drills and sessions will greatly contribute to their development. When you engage athletes in the decision-making process, you enhance self-responsibility for their own development. The child learns to self-reflect. What is my best skill? What do I have to learn in future? And how am I going to achieve that? It is children's nature to try things and practice to get better. So, how can you transfer responsibility in practice? 1. Engage children as much as possible in the organization of the sessions. Ask them to help with the equipment or suggest drills. 2. Create training and competition goals together. 3. Challenge athletes to formulate their own development goals. Make sure the goals are SMART goals. Remember the strategy section in chapter 3. 4. Ask open and higher level questions that lead to deeper thinking and reflection. For instance, tell me how you saw that last shot, rather than what will you do next time? 5. Provide choice in your session. For example, regarding the organization or goals. And 6. Allow athletes to reflect before you offer your feedback. Okay, so that's it. This chapter has provided a lot of ideas and practical tips about creating a pedagogical climate. Before you go on to the summary video, please have a look at the study guide and complete any relevant activities. Thanks again for watching and see you soon. Bye.